so far?
Oh, it's amazing. It's really amazing. I mean, I've always seen Comic-Con and watched panels online and done all of this, but to actually be here with a show that I'm really proud of and really happy to be a part of, it's incredible.
So obviously, Clary just learned that her brother is alive.
Yeah.
So how is that going to affect her moving forward?
It affects everything. You know, because Clary thought she'd lost her brother. She thought her brother was dead. She thought she really didn't have any family left because her mother's gone, and she really doesn't consider Valentine family. Although she has the family of the Shadowhunters and the Downholders and this wonderful family that she's grown to have, a chance at having part of her biological family in her life again is huge. And she will do anything and everything she can to give Jonathan a second chance. And you know, we saw in the trailer for 17, there's Jace and Clary butting heads, but Clary's seen that demon blood doesn't necessarily mean that Magnus has demon blood, Luke has demon blood, Simon has demon blood. And she knows that they are still inherently good. So giving Jonathan a second chance, it only seems second nature to her. How that's going to turn out, we'll see. But as we see from the trailer that just aired in the panel, it's brutal. The rest of the season is very brutal. But we were shocked by what they allowed us to do, by what they kept in cut, and but very, very clear.
So what can you teach for us about place? We're very, very excited.
Deal with Clary and Jace. Clary's so gun-shy right now when it comes to relationships because of what happened with Simon. He's the last person in the world that she would have ever wanted to hurt, and she did, in a really major way. And, you know, Clary and Jace, they have this connection, and they have since day one. But Clary's not ready to deal with that right now because there's so much else. And then also, on top of that, you know, aside from her own personal issues, there's the impending danger of the missing mortal instruments and her brother and Valentine on the loose and the rest of the shadow world all kind of devolving. So there's a lot going on, and Clary throws herself into work. How successful she is at that while avoiding relationship issues is another story because there's always relationship issues.
Can you tell anything else about the angel blood and how you have developed these new kind of powers?
Well, that's exactly why she can't avoid Jace, because they're both discovering things about their angel blood, and they're both discovering these powers. And I find it really ironic that Sebastian is the one that tells Clary emotions give you power, and Jace is the one who's been telling her that emotions cloud judgment. And that's not to say that Shadowhunters are emotionless. They just have been trained to compartmentalize in a different way. But with this angel blood, they're learning how to access it through their emotions and through allowing themselves to access this sort of power within from their heart that extends through quite literally their blood. And you do see quite a bit more of that, and you see quite a bit more of that with both of them for the rest of the season.
Are there any other, like, I want to call them powers, but are there anything else that you develop over the course?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it all stems from the angel blood. You know, we saw Clary create the portal rune in this episode, create the sunlight rune. And for Clary, she was an artist. So all of her, she's, you know, in the books she's called the creator. So everything that comes from her angelic blood is through these runes. And they give her, you know, she's able to access these different abilities, these different powers through her art. And I find that so great, because in essence, that's who Clary is as a whole. She is this person who is a combination of mundane and Shadowhunter. She is an artist who's also a warrior, and that's something that she will always be, no matter what.
How do you think the fans are going to react to this finale?
Oh, I think they're going to love it, but it's also going to destroy them.
Okay.
It destroyed me when I read the script. I'm a huge fan of the books. I was crying. I was in tears. But I have to say, Dom and I keep talking about this. There's a scene in episode 20 that is probably our favorite scene we've ever shot on the show. And it's brutal, and it's difficult, but it's wonderful. And we're really proud of how it turned out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.